The Sealed Book of Mormon, chapter 16. And it came to pass that the brother of Jared saw many things pertaining to the way in which Adam and Eve began to have dominion over the earth, and also over the beasts of the field. And this because of the intelligence of Adam and Eve, and the things that they had learned of the Father. For the beasts were created on a lower order than the children of men, and these beasts were driven by their instincts, not knowing right or wrong, and therefore not being able to partake of the joys of which the children of men partake. And when the time arrived for the birth of the child conceived in the Garden of Eden, both Adam and Eve rejoiced in his birth, and they called his name Benelli, which interpreted means a son of God. And it came to pass that Adam and Eve had many sons and daughters, and these grew and were taught to worship the Lord according to the manner in which Adam and Eve were instructed by the Lord in the Garden of Eden, and also by the way of the holy endowment that hath been explained unto previously in this record. And the Lord also suffered that Adam should organize a church for the benefit of his children, and also that the holy priesthood of God, with its lower and higher appendages, should be established among them for their instruction and their learning. For behold, the children of Adam and Eve were not in the Garden of Eden, and they did not know the Lord, nor had they ever seen him with their mortal eyes, and it was required of them to live by faith, even faith in the words that Adam taught unto them. And the ministrations of the Holy Ghost began to fall upon the children of Adam, which ministrations bear record of the Father and of the Son, and of the plan that they have established for the children of Adam. And it came to pass that after many years Adam also began to doubt that which he had experienced before in the Garden of Eden, even believing that it had been a dream. And thus was the power that Satan had over the hearts of all men, even unto the convincing of the very elect, if it were possible, that they should not believe that which they cannot see with their eyes, or listen to that which they do not hear with their ears. And the Father sent an angel from his kingdom unto Adam to help him remember the things that he had forgotten by faith. For behold, in the beginning Adam did not have faith, for he knew that the Father existed, and that he was begotten of the Father, this having been taught to him by Jehovah immediately after being expelled from the Garden of Eden, and also by his own personal experiences with the Father. And it is the condition of mortality that causeth the pure and simple knowledge to become a matter of faith after a long time, and this because of the manner of thought which is permitted by a mortal body. For it was necessary that the Father limit the ability of the children of men to remember their lives before their births, thus ensuring that they do not reach forth and partake of the tree of life, and live forever in their sins, as I have previously explained it unto you. And Adam kept all the commandments that he had received from Jehovah when he was expelled from the Garden of Eden. And he taught these commandments to his children according to the manner that was shown unto him. And it came to pass that Benelli grew and became a popular man among the other children of Adam. And he began to notice a difference in his appearance from those who were the other sons and daughters of Adam, for his skin was darker and his features were different than the rest of his brothers and sisters. And his father Adam did not think anything of the differences that were obvious in the appearance of Benelli, even because he did not understand all of the mysteries of God pertaining to the creation of a mortal body at this time, and therefore accepted that Benelli was conceived of him. And Benelli went unto his mother Eve and questioned her concerning these things. And Eve could not hide the truth from Benelli any longer, and explained unto him that which had occurred in the Garden of Eden. And Eve petitioned fervently unto her son, and asked that he would promise her that he would not reveal these things unto Adam, who did not know that this thing had happened, and who loved Benelli with all of his heart. And Benelli loved his mother and hearkened unto her, and promised her at this time that he would not tell Adam that which she had revealed unto him. But from that time forth Benelli began to search out his natural father, even that he began to pray unto Satan, and ask for his guidance and his blessing. And Satan came unto Benelli, calling him his son, and giving unto him all that he desired. And Benelli began to teach his other brothers and sisters the things which he had learned from Satan, which things were contrary to the commandments that Adam had taught unto them. And because the words of Benelli were enticing unto many of his brothers and sisters, they began to rebel against the words of their father Adam, and follow the commandments of Satan that were taught unto them by their eldest brother Benelli. And in this way did Satan begin to have success in possessing the bodies that the Father had created for Adam and Eve. And from that time forward, men began to be carnal and sensual and devilish in their ways. And the Lord raised up prophets among the children of Adam, and gave unto them the Holy Ghost, and commanded them to preach repentance unto their brothers and sisters. And Adam did spend much of his time counselling and directing the church through the priesthood that had been established among them, that he might also bring many of his children unto repentance. And it came to pass that the creatures that had been possessed by Satan and his followers found their way into the land in which lived the children of Adam and Eve. And the sons and daughters of Adam and Eve, who did not hearken to the words of their father, or to the words of their brothers who had been called by the Lord as prophets to preach repentance unto them, yea, even these began to breed with those creatures who were not created by the Father to house the spirits of his children. And from these unions there came to be many different peoples upon the earth, and the bodies that were created by these unions begin to be the vessels in which the Father was required by the eternal laws of heaven to put the spirits of his children. And thus had Satan corrupted the natural bodies that God had created for Adam and Eve. Nevertheless, all this was done according to that which the Father had already known, and that which he had expected. For in this same manner did the other worlds in which life was created bring about the mortal bodies for the spirits of the children of God. And all these things were necessary so that the children of God might partake of that which is imperfect, so that they might know that which is perfect. And the bodies that the Father created for Adam and Eve were perfect according to the laws of the nature in which they were formed. And their bodies were also like unto the bodies that he and their eternal mothers possess. And how is it that we might know that these bodies are perfect, unless it so be that we experience the effects of a body that is imperfect, and therefore have some type of comparison that we might know these things? And Satan continued to do that which had been done before in the worlds that were created for the salvation and happiness of the children of God. Therefore, in the beginning, the children of men were given a body like unto that of the Father, and they were also given commandments pertaining to this body, that it might not be defiled. But in the space of not many generations, all of the children of men began to possess bodies that were imperfect and unlike the perfect bodies that had been created for Adam and Eve. And it came to pass that the brother of Jared wrote concerning Adam and his efforts to teach his children the commandments of God. For behold, the major part of them had rebelled against these commandments, and because of the agency given unto his children, Adam could not force them to do his will. And he saw the effects of his sons and his daughters who were creating children with those that were not chosen vessels of the Father. And Adam saw the effects of his eldest son Benelli as he set himself up as a leader among them, and also as he began to persuade his brothers and sisters to disregard the commandments of God and seek after things of the earth. And it came to pass that Eve bore another son unto Adam, and called his name Cain, believing that he was one that she could raise up righteously before the Lord, and that he would obey the commands of his father. And it was also the desire of Adam that he might preserve in the next generation the similitude of the physical body that he had received from the father. And therefore Adam was desirous that Cain follow in his footsteps and maintain this purity. And Eve conceived again, and bore unto Adam another son, and called his name Abel. And it came to pass that as Cain and Abel grew together in the house of their father, that Cain began to become jealous because of the love that he perceived his father Adam had for Abel. And truly Adam loved all of his children the same, but this was not the perception of Cain. And Cain became familiar with the teachings of his eldest brother Benelli, and went unto him and inquired of the things that he had taught his other brothers and sisters. And Benelli was glad that his younger brother had come unto him, and he blessed him and treated him like his own son. And Cain began to follow the words of Benelli, and reject the things that his father had taught unto him. But Abel grew and became righteous, and did those things which were expected of him by his father, and also those things that were commanded him of the Lord. And Abel became a high priest in the church that Adam had established among them, and Abel began to preach repentance to his brothers and his sisters. And it came to pass that Abel went unto the house of his elder brother Benelli, to inquire of him as to why he had corrupted the teachings of their father, and why he did not worship God as he had been commanded. And Abel said unto him, How is it that thou, being our eldest brother, persuadeth us to disobey father? Knowest thou not that our father hath taught the truth unto us concerning the beginning of our existence in this world, and that he and our mother Eve were commanded by the Lord to teach us the laws that are necessary for our happiness? And Benelli answered him, saying, I have said nothing about our father, for he is a man of many dreams and visions, and his imagination doth cause him to believe things that do not exist. And this happiness of which thou hast spoken, are we not a happy people? Do we not enjoy our wives and our children, and live in peace and happiness? And behold, the work of our hands, and the accomplishments that we have done with the things of the earth, do they not bring us the joy of which thou speakest? Did not our father give unto us a commandment that we should multiply and replenish the earth, and have dominion over the beasts of the field, and the fowls of the air, and the fish that are in the water? And do we not have dominion over these things, and find joy therein? I say unto thee that we do find joy in these things, and that we shall continue to find joy in these things all the days of our lives. And Abel rebuked his brother, saying, The joy of which thou speakest is not the everlasting joy of which our father hath taught us existeth in the kingdom of God, and which shall be given unto all those who believe in him and keep his commandments. The joy of which thou speakest shall only last among thee and those who follow thee for a short time. And the causes of this joy shall require that ye continually pursue that which hath given you this joy for a short season only. But ye do not consider that which shall come to pass by the pursuit of this joy. Yea, neither do ye consider those things that shall also be the cause of much sorrow among you, because of this joy that ye seek. For behold, ye do eat the flesh of beasts, and of fowl, and of the fishes in the water, which example hath not been given unto you by our father, but hath been given unto you by those beings whom ye have taken as your wives, and unto whom ye give your daughters, that they might bring forth children unto you. And these are not those of the children of our father, who have the pure blood within them, but ye have corrupted this blood because of your unions with them. And because ye do eat the flesh of the beasts, and also the flesh of the fowls, and the flesh of the fish in the waters, ye have also corrupted and defiled your own bodies, which bodies were not intended to partake of such things. And even if you were hungry and forced by famine to eat the flesh of a creature, you would not receive the nourishment that your bodies require to live in this joy of which thou speakest. For ye have caused the destructive force of fire to destroy the nutrients that the Father hath placed in the flesh of these animals, and also in the plants that these animals eat to gain their nourishment. And because ye have become used to the taste of seared fat and boiled plants and fruits, yea, because ye receive this joy from eating that which hath none of the natural nutrients that the Father hath provided therein to give our bodies health and strength, ye have caused that disease and pestilence should come upon you. And can ye call this an everlasting joy? And thou hast taught thy followers that it is not a sin to take from the earth more than what is necessary to sustain their lives, because thou hast taught them that there is no life after this life in which we find ourselves, and that they should eat and drink and be merry and take unto themselves of all the fine things of the earth, that they might have an abundance for themselves. And with these teachings thou hast caused them to become selfish and carnal, and share none of the joy of which thou hast spoken with their neighbours or with their friends, but that they should hoard all that they can for the benefit of their own wives and their own children. And in separating yourselves into these family units in which ye have found this joy of which thou hast spoken, ye have destroyed the sense of fellowship and unity that our Father taught us should exist among us. For do we not all share the same Father and the same Mother? Therefore, to whose family do we pertain, seeing that we are all brothers and sisters? And the ramifications of this joy that you describe are that there shall be contentions among you, in that ye will be more concerned about the welfare of your own family and the things that ye have hoarded from the earth for its welfare, than you will be about sharing that which ye have with those who do not have that which ye have hoarded, because ye have taken it all unto yourselves. And your joy will cause the misery of others, and these, because they too want the same joy of which thou hast spoken, will take by force, if necessary, those things that ye have hoarded for the benefit of your own family. And thus will contentions and disputations arise among you, and these would not arise among you if ye would do the things that our Father had commanded us. And our Father hath given unto us the commandments that he received from the mouth of God when he was banished from the Garden of Eden. And ye know that this garden did exist, because ye have seen its borders, and have experienced the exceedingly verdant nature that existed therein, which nature is not like any that we can find in other parts of the land in which we live. And even though it is also subjected to the laws of nature, which laws will cause all things therein to decay and to die a natural death, even so its beauty and exceedingly great natural order doth even now continue to exist. And if this garden of which our Father hath spoken doth exist, then why thinkest thou that the God who created this garden doth not exist? And if God doth not exist, then where did our first parents come from? For behold, they are unlike all the other animals that exist upon this land. And even this land, from where thinkest thou that it came? And seest thou not the great order of nature that is all around us? How can this order exist except there be laws given that establish this order and cause it to remain in the state in which it hath been established? And if these laws were given unto nature to keep it in its proper order by him who created it, then why thinkest thou that this same being would not give unto us laws that would help us maintain order among ourselves? For we are not of the same order as the order of the nature that is around us. And by these natural laws we do not need to abide, For in this nature it is requisite that only that which is needed to sustain life is taken from it. And under this law are all the creatures that dwell on this world with us subjected. But we are not subjected by this law, and ye have proven this by your actions, even that which ye take from nature, of which ye have no need except to consume it upon the lust that ye have for this temporary joy that ye pursue. And it is also a law of this nature that those who are subjected to it shall live in a symbiotic state with it, in that they give to its order as it giveth unto them. But what is it that thou supposest that ye give unto nature, from which ye receive many things? Behold, ye give nothing unto nature, but it provideth for you all the things that ye desire. And because thou and thy followers are not subjected by all the laws of nature, by what laws are ye subjected? I say unto thee that thou and those who follow thee are subjected under your own laws, which are laws of selfishness and carnality, and which shall bring about more sorrow and misery for you than the short time that ye shall experience the joy which ye seek. But there is one law of nature to which ye are all subjected, which law was brought to pass because of the choice of our first parents to provide bodies for us and allow us to enter into mortality with them. And this law is the natural law of death, to which all things in nature are subjected. And thou knowest this law, and hath convinced these people that there is no escaping this law under which we are subjected, thus giving them reason to live their lives as if the only joy that they can experience is that joy that they receive here in mortality. But I have already shown unto thee that we are not subjected to the laws of nature, as are the rest of the creations that are found therein, but we are subjected to the laws of God, by whom we were all created. And if it so be that we are subjected to his laws, then there must be a law that he is subjected to that superseded the law of nature that we have been subjected to because of the desires of our parents. And because we are not part of this nature, we are not subjected to its laws, but because we live in this order of nature at this time and take from it that which bringeth us joy, we are forced into submission to its laws, and for this reason we shall die, thus submitting to the laws of nature. But when we are no longer a part of this nature, then we are no longer subjected to its laws. And after our spirits depart from this mortal body, which was created from this nature, we are no longer part of it, and are therefore subjected to other laws, which govern the environment in which we will find ourselves. And in this spiritual state, or this spirit environment, we shall be subjected to the laws of him who created our spirits, or to him from whom we shall receive our joy. And if it so be that we do not abide by his laws, then we cannot receive any joy from him. And if we do not receive any joy from him, then we shall be miserable forever in the state in which we shall find ourselves. And there is the law of God that compensateth for the law of nature, or the law of death. And even as it was death that came upon us and cut short the joy that we find in this natural environment, even so shall this law of God be given, that we shall once again find life, and this life shall be eternal, for such are all the laws of God. And the law of sacrifice which our Father hath given unto us is in similitude of this law, that shall give us eternal life and eternal joy. And this law shall be given unto us by the Son of God, who shall come down among us and teach us all the laws of God, that shall bring us eternal life, in which we shall experience eternal joy and happiness. And he shall sacrifice his own life for us, by presenting himself as a sacrifice for all of us. in that he will teach us the laws of God that we must be subjected to in order to be saved in the kingdom of God, where the laws of happiness and joy are eternal, as well as the laws of life, which are also eternal. And now I would that thou shouldst know that these are the things which our Father hath taught us, and these are the things that we must live by in order to find the happiness and joy that we seek, both in this state of nature and also in the spiritual state of our God who hath created us. And it came to pass that Abel did confound Benelli in all of his words, and because of the words of Abel, many people left from following Benelli and followed once again after the things that they had been taught by their father. But there were also many others who did not listen to the words of Abel, and many of these were those who had been born into the imperfect bodies, as I have explained it unto you. Nevertheless, there were some of those who were born of the imperfect body, who did follow the counsel of Abel, and sought out Adam to hear his words. And there were also those who had the similitude of the perfect body, in that they were direct descendants of the sons of Adam and the daughters of Eve, and some of these did remain under the power of Benelli. And from that time forth Benelli was wroth with Abel, and devised a way in which he could destroy him. And Benelli called Cain unto him, and spoke with him, saying, Thou knowest that I love thee as my own son, and that I would give my life for thee, if it so be that I could save thee. And thou also knowest that I have provided a means whereby these people, even our brothers and our sisters, might find great joy, and this joy is that for which I would give my life. Behold, our brother Abel hath come among us, and hath taken away the joy of many of our brothers and sisters, and hath caused them to feel guilty for feeling the joy that they have experienced. And he hath caused considerable damage to our families, claiming that our family units are not important, and that they are not part of the laws of this God, whom none of us hath seen. And in this way he hath deceived us by taking away our means of this joy that we have experienced. And he doeth this, that he might take that which we possess unto himself. For did he not say unto us that we should impart of our substance unto those who do not have that which we possess? And he doth not have that which we have, and by his cunningness he desireth to take from us, so that he can have part of all that we have. And thou seest that this our brother hath lied unto us, for he hath said unto us that we should not take from nature, except that which we should give back in the same portion of which we have taken. Yet he offereth up for sacrifice the firstlings of his flock unto this unknown God, and pretendeth that it hath been commanded of him by God. And he sheddeth their blood, but doth not partake of their flesh. And in this way he taketh away from nature, without giving back any portion of that which he hath taken. And even thou strugglest all of thy days to grow food from the earth, and thy sweat is the testimony of the hard work that is the lot that hath been given unto thee by our father Adam. And doth not our brother Abel eat of the fruit of thy hands? Doth he not take from thee even that which he doth not return? And is it fair of our Father that he requireth of thee to toil in this manner to provide food for thy brother, whose only toil is watching after his flocks, and tending to their needs, which needs do not come by his hand, but by the hand of nature that hath given these flocks unto him? And who is he that he thinketh that he shall rule over me, who is his eldest brother, and also over thee, who is his elder brother? And it came to pass that by the words of Benelli, the heart of Cain was hardened against his brother Abel. And Benelli entered into a secret pact and covenant with Cain, that if he would kill Abel, he would be protected and watched over by Benelli and those who follow him. And Benelli convinced Cain that the things that he was to do would bring a greater peace and happiness among the people, and that he would be held in respect among them for that which he would do. And they made this pact according to all that Benelli had learned from his father, who was Satan in the beginning. And this pact was held secret among them. And thus began the children of men to form alliances and make covenants one with another in secret, that they might get gain and destroy those who prevented them from getting that which they desired. And Cain did that which Benelli desired of him, and he went unto Abel while he was tending his flocks, and slew him. And this was the first time that a child of Adam was slain by the hand of another, and thus began murder to enter into the hearts of the children of men. And Benelli and those who followed after him came to Cain, and gave unto him the title of Master Mahan, which title was given to him of the highest order of this secret society, which society was set up to get gain and maintain power among the people. And Benelli also gave one of his daughters unto Cain as his wife for that which he had done. And those who belonged to this society did not think of themselves as evil men, but they thought of themselves as the most righteous among the people. And they took upon themselves oaths and covenants that would protect them, and also protect their desire for gain and power among the people. And their desire for power, as they had convinced themselves, was to assure the prosperity and freedom of all those who belonged to this secret order. And they took the endowment that they had learned from Adam, and changed the signs and the symbols and the penalties to fit the desires of their secret society. And they began to convince themselves that their ways and their teachings were the right ways, and that if there was a God, then that God would want the same things that they desire, which things are joy in their families, and joy in their worldly possessions, and joy in their freedom. And this society began to enforce the desires of their hearts upon the people throughout the land. And if any man or woman refused to live by the laws that they had established according to these desires, then they would call upon those who had taken the secret oaths and covenants to protect their society to kill this man or this woman. And they began to set up a system of law that served this society and its desires, even the desire to get gain and hold on to this gain for the benefit of their families. And in this way did the laws of men begin to supersede the laws of God. And in this way did Lucifer do that which he had promised upon being cast out of the presence of the Father, even that he would take the treasures of the earth, and with gold and silver he would buy up the means of force, and that he would buy up the means of justice and laws that the children of men would be subjected to through the governments and religions of men, and reign with blood and horror upon the earth. And this society began to use gold and silver and the precious elements of the earth to measure and control the gain that they desired. For behold, among the children of Adam there did not exist a means whereby the value of the things of the earth was measured, for all things were free unto all, and everyone did that which they could according to their individual abilities, and all received according to their individual needs. And this was done by the sweat of their brow, which was commanded of them by the Father in the beginning. Nevertheless, it had come to pass earlier among the children of Adam that there lived some who did not want to work by the sweat of their own brow, but who had put themselves up above their brothers and their sisters. And these thought that because of their words or because of their intelligence, they should not have to work by their own sweat, And it was the eldest son of Adam, even Benelli, who had learned from Satan a way in which he could get gain by not working with his hands. And he had been convinced by Satan that because he was the eldest and one of the most intelligent among them, that he should not be required to toil like unto the others. And it came to pass that Benelli spent many days wandering through the land, observing the toil and labour of the rest of his brothers and sisters, and even of his father Adam and his mother Eve, whom he loved. And he was shown by Satan the gold that glittered in its natural state, and that it was beautiful to the eyes and smooth to the touch, even that it was everlasting, and that which could not tarnish with age and time. And he also knew that this gold, and also silver, which had the same attributes of gold, was sparse, and was not found in abundance throughout the land. And Benelli gathered up a large quantity of this gold and this silver, and began to shape jewellery in a fashion that was most beautiful to be seen, and most comfortable against the skin of those who would wear it. And he went unto his wife, and adorned her with the jewellery which he had made, and convinced her to show it unto her friends and her neighbours, and let them touch it and see its beauty. And the other women began to covet the things of the wife of Benelli, and they desired of their husbands that they might have jewellery like unto hers. But these men did not know where to get this gold and this silver of which to make these things. And when they searched throughout the land, they could not find any, because of that which Benelli had taken unto himself. And when their wives knew that their husbands could not find that which they desired, they pleaded with them to go unto Benelli and request of him some of his gold and his silver, that they might have these things. And the men went unto Benelli, and asked of him that he might give unto them some of his gold and his silver, even that which he had gathered up in abundance unto himself. And Benelli answered them, saying, My dear brethren, it is my utmost desire that I should share that which I have with each of you, so that ye might give unto your wives that which I have given unto my wife, even that which hath given her great joy and pleasure. Yet I would ask of you if it is fair that I give unto you that which I have toiled to obtain. Even for many days have I toiled and laboured with my own hands, that I might acquire these things. And with my own hands have I fashioned these things into that which bringeth joy to my wife, and which your wives also desire. And ye spend your days in toil by the sweat of your brows for the benefit of all, even the food that we eat, and the homes that we live in, and the clothes that we wear. And how is it then that your toil is more important than mine? For behold, ye toil to assure that we live. Yet what type of life do we live, if we do not have the joy and the pleasure that this life can bring? And ye have beheld that which I have provided, my wife, with that which bringeth her this pleasure and this joy, even beyond that which ye have provided unto your own wives. But I want that ye have the ability to give unto your wives this pleasure and this joy. Therefore I would that ye should trade with me your labour, and that which your labour produceth, for that which my labour hath produced, even that which will bring joy unto your wives. And it came to pass that with his words Benelli convinced the men to give unto him of their labours, and of their food, and of their clothes. And he caused them that they should build houses for him, and fences in which he could mark the land that was his, even that for which he had traded in his dealings with these men. And it came to pass that the gold and the silver of the land became more valuable to the people than their food, and their homes, and their raiment. And Benelli controlled the trading of the gold and the silver, even so much that he became very rich among the people, and possessed much more than his other brothers and sisters. And many others coveted the things that Benelli had, and they wanted to become rich like unto him. And in this way the children of men began to divide themselves into classes, even into the poor and the rich, or those who had much and those who had little. And those who had little coveted that which the rich possessed. But because gold and silver was so rare and precious among them, these poor could not become like unto the rich. And there were those among the poor who began to steal from the rich. These justified their actions because they felt that they should have that which the rich kept from them, even their gold and their silver, which they could not find in the land. And thus the children of men began to come under the control of Satan, and he did rage in their hearts and became their God. And Adam laboured all of his days to convince them of their errors, and to turn them once again to the commandments that he had taught them, which were given unto him by the Lord. And it came to pass that after the death of Abel, Adam called all those who listened to his words and kept the commandments of the Lord. And there were many strong and agile men among them. Nevertheless, they had never fought with their brethren, being taught that even anger towards another was not justifiable in the eyes of God. But Adam explained unto them concerning the wickedness and corruption of those among them who did not keep the commandments of God, and that these had caused many sorrows to enter in among them, and that if they allowed this wickedness to continue, that it would surely lead to their destruction. And the children of Adam who followed him were not as many as those that followed after the order of Benelli and Cain. Nevertheless, these had the Spirit of God among them, and they had not defiled their bodies with the flesh of animals or with food that had been cooked. And these were strong men, and had much more stamina and vigour than those who followed Satan. And Adam spoke unto these strong ones who worshipped the Lord and kept his commandments, and said unto them, I would that ye should know that my heart is burdened by the actions of your brothers and sisters, who have disregarded the commandments of God, and have established their own laws among them. And I have spent many years preaching unto them and counselling with them, with a hope that they would see the error of their ways and return again unto God. But my works among them have been in vain, and they have slain my son Abel, who was your beloved brother, and also a prophet of God. And because they have chosen to rid themselves of all those who do not bow down to their form of government, and take the oaths and covenants of that secret society among them, I am afraid that they might come among those of us who keep the commandments of God and live according to his word, and destroy us. Therefore it is my desire that I should speak unto them one last time, and ask them in all humility, even with the love that I have for them as their father, that they change their ways and bring peace once again throughout the land. And if it so be that they refuse to listen to my words and give heed unto my counsel, then I am constrained by the Spirit of God, yea, even by the Spirit of peace and harmony, which is the Spirit of God, that I banish them from this land, and command them to leave and go back the way in which those who came do not have the pure blood of the bodies that the Father created with the spirits of his children, even those who are now our brothers and our sisters, but who do not have the pure blood. And I would that ye should know that it mattereth not whether their bodies are of pure blood or not, for it is the Spirit that commandeth the body. And if their spirit is good, then it shall command the body in righteous works. And there are many among us who keep the commandments of God, who do not have the pure blood. And many of these are more righteous than those who have the pure blood. Therefore it mattereth not unto me, nor unto God, which body they possess, for by their works shall they be known. And if the works of your brothers and sisters were righteous, then there would be no need for that which I must command of them, if it so be that they repent and return to God. And now I, Moroni, find it necessary that I write that the sons and daughters of Adam had much respect and honour for Adam and for Eve, yea, even those who did not follow the commandments of God still did honour their father and their mother. And Adam and Eve were loved and respected above all others upon the land. And I have shown unto you before that Benelli had a great love for his mother Eve, and he did also love his father Adam, but did not that which he was commanded by his father. And this because he was persuaded by Satan, who had possessed the body of him who was his natural father. And the children of Benelli did also honour Adam and Eve, even for many years after the death of Benelli, who was their father and their leader, who had died many years before this time, because of the imperfections and defilement of his body. And it was the desire of Adam to gather all of his children upon the face of the whole land, even all those who were his sons and daughters, and also their sons and daughters. And there were numerous people upon the face of the earth, in and around the place where the Lord had planted the Garden of Eden, it being the centre and also the borders of their land. Now in this day Adam was 502 years old, when he made a proclamation throughout the land that all the people therein should gather themselves together to hear his words. And it had been over 500 years that the sons and daughters of Adam had gone 2 by 2 upon the face of the land and raised up children. Therefore the lands round and about the borders of the Garden of Eden were full of many people. And in the church of God that had been established by Adam, there were many wise and righteous leaders, they being direct descendants of Adam, and having the holy priesthood passed down through the patriarchal order of the sons of Adam. For after the death of Abel, which death had occurred many years before the time of the gathering of the people to listen to the words of Adam, Eve conceived and bore Seth unto Adam. And now I, Moroni, have once again been constrained by the Spirit to give unto you, yea, even those who shall receive this record, a proper accounting of the years and time of Adam. Behold, when Adam was cast out of the Garden of Eden, he was a grown man who had reached the age of mortality of 33 years, and his wife Eve was younger in mortal years, she being the age of mortality of 18 years, when she was deceived by Satan and cast out of the garden with her husband. Now this was according to the years of man, for unto God the time of man doth not exist. Now the bodies that were given unto Adam and Eve in the beginning were formed like unto those of a man of 33 years old, and of a woman of 18 years old. And these are the ages in mortality, when the children of men are fully mature, and have reached the pinnacle of strength and vitality. For according to the laws of nature, yea, even according to the laws that we are subjected to during the days of our probation, our bodies reach this pinnacle after 33 years for a man, and after 18 years for a woman. And because Adam and Eve were given perfect mortal bodies that were not defiled by the forbidden things from which God had commanded them to abstain, they lived for many years. And at the age of the pinnacle of health and strength to which they grew, their bodies remained in this state for many years. For this reason, those who carried within them undefiled blood lived for hundreds of years, whereas those who had defiled their blood with the things that had been forbidden began to die after the pinnacle of their mortality was reached. And in a matter of a few years, they who had defiled their bodies began to grow old and lose the strength and vitality that they had experienced at this pinnacle. And those who had eaten the flesh of other animals and cooked their food, thus destroying the vital nutrients that nature hath provided for their health and strength, and also those who had mixed their blood with the blood of other animals that were not given the same bodies that were given to Adam and Eve. Yea, even those bodies had been possessed by Lucifer and his followers for many years. Yea, even these did not reach the age of longevity with which the pure sons and daughters of Adam and Eve were blessed. And this was also the wise purpose of the Lord. For the Lord knew that the sons and daughters of Adam and Eve would begin to follow the enticings of Satan and turn against the commandments that he had given unto them. And since there are always upon the earth those who disobey the laws of God and follow the enticings of Satan, yea, their numbers being exceedingly greater than those who keep his commandments, therefore in the beginning God assured a balance of righteousness, so that the righteous would not be overwhelmed by the wicked. And the days of Adam were 82 when he begot Cain. And 2 years after the birth of Cain did Eve conceive and give birth to Abel. And Abel was 33 years old when he began his ministry in the church of God. And he taught in the church for 5 years, and preached many things unto his brothers and sisters. And his father placed him over the flocks of the field, even those flocks that were raised for the sacrifices that they performed according to the commandments of God. And when he was 38 years old, his brother Cain slew him. And now I, Moroni, would that ye should know somewhat more concerning the jealousy that Cain had towards his younger brother Abel. For behold, Adam had given each of his sons the work that each of them should do according to each of their abilities and their strengths. And Cain was much stronger than Abel, he having received of his father a body that was exceedingly stronger than the bodies of most other men. And Adam saw the strength of Cain, and blessed him, and put him over the work that was done in the fields, even the tilling and the planting and the harvesting of the fruits and the plants that the people harvested for food. And even at a young age Cain became an expert at his trade, and demonstrated great skill in his ability to produce food for the people, even so much that he produced an abundance of food, and was known throughout the land for his husbandry. But his brother Abel was short of stature, and weak in the strength of his hands, even so much that he did not contribute to the physical tasks that were required of the men to produce and harvest the food that the house of Adam needed for sustenance. Therefore Adam assigned Abel to tend the flocks. And he became exceedingly proficient in organizing and caring for the flocks, and preparing them for that which they were being raised. And they were being raised exclusively for a sacrifice unto God, as they had been commanded by him. This being in similitude of the law of sacrifice that was given to Adam and Eve in the holy endowment. And it came to pass that Cain did not understand why the works of his hands were not acceptable unto God as a sacrifice like unto those of his brother Abel. And Cain brought forth and placed the works of his hands on the altar that Adam had commanded to be constructed to perform the law of sacrifice. And when he had done this thing, Adam rebuked his son, and commanded him to bring no such offering unto the Lord, except it be that the Lord shall command it. And Adam loved his son, and made an attempt to explain to him that the law of sacrifice was symbolic of a law that would be fulfilled without the works of man. And as his offering was the work of the hands of men, and the offering of a beast that God had created had nothing consistent with the works of man, then his offering was not consistent with the intent of the symbolism of the law of sacrifice. And Cain became angry with his father and jealous of his brother, and went unto the eldest son of Adam, even Benelli, that he might seek his advice. Which advice he took unto himself, and did those things that Benelli required of him. And it came to pass that 8 years had passed after the murder of Abel. And during these 8 years Adam did mourn, because of the loss of his son. And he did also mourn because of such a terrible thing that had come to pass among his children, for there had never been a murder committed during the days of Adam until that time. And after 8 years of mourning the loss of her son Abel, Eve conceived again and gave unto Adam another son, and he called his name Seth. And the Lord had great compassion upon Adam, and made Seth in an exact likeness of his father, even so much that Eve rejoiced therein, and knew that the Lord had done this to ease the pain of Adam.